Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp. Inc., MGI on the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected high-grade gold, including 16.9 meters of 13.58 grams and 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program is planned to further evaluate previously identified subsurface high-grade gold mineralization. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sean Brodrick, Senior Editor for WeissRatings.com. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
The trade war that's developing around the planet over tariffs. Apparently, Harley Davidson is moving a shop to Europe because they're worried about their product being, well, not boycotted, but heavily tariffed so that they couldn't sell anymore in Europe. Do you see this trend happening around the world?
Sure, we will see more of that, and that's a real headline grabber for sure. But for me, the more important thing, the thing that's affecting the markets is that it seems like this trade war is becoming more real. I mean, I really thought it was bluster and like renegotiating and like stuff like that. But now, you know, Trump has put down his points. Chinese are saying, well, this is what they will do. The people in Europe are saying what they will do. And it's just really starting to look more real. And as it looks more real, you know, then the market says, hey, wait a minute. You know, if this is something real, then we really have to deal with it. And that's one of the reasons why I think we saw a big sell-off on Monday of this week. And so, you know, that will continue to hang over the markets. I used to say Trump could change this with a tweet, but it's actually gotten much more serious. It's not just us fighting the world is fighting each other. In fact, if you go to my Twitter feed, which is at Sean Brodrick, no Ian Brodrick, on Tuesday, I have a nice chart that I just put up, in which the European Union said that 67 new trade barriers and investment for the bloc's companies were raised in 2017, taking the total tally of existing obstacles to 396. And the U.S. is not by any means the worst offender. In fact, it's like number 6. Russia and China are number 1 and number 2. They have been on the whole trade tariff bandwagon for a long time. This is one of the things that has Trump upset. I think, by the way, President Trump has good intentions in this. I just think that his approach is wrong. And so I don't think that he'll get the bang that he's looking for his buck. And that will be problematic. So because he's not quite doing the right thing, even though he has good intentions, it's not going to work out the way he wants it to. And we'll have to see how that develops down the road as well. But what we're looking at is, you know, a worsening trade environment. And so what that should lead to, at least in the short term, is inflation, because we'll see more tariffs slapped on all sorts of imports. And also a slight drag on global GDP. How much? We don't actually know. One more thing that we have to keep in mind is that the U.S. Federal Reserve is now in quantitative tightening. And remember, they used to do quantitative easing, and that put like a cushion under the markets. They would give the banks money, the banks would turn around, and they'd purchase stocks. And so that like pushed stocks up. Now that we're in quantitative tightening, to the tune of about $600 billion a year, by the way. Now that we're doing that, that's going to, you know, yank on the market's progress. It'll be harder for the market to rise. And so I think that added to the big sell-off that we had on like Monday, because there weren't those eager hands just waiting out there to catch those falling knives. That big pile of money was not there. And so things are changing for the market. This is not necessarily a doom and gloom scenario. In fact, I think some stocks could do very well indeed. But this is one in which you have to be more aware that overriding situation has changed. You have to be aware of that. You have to adjust to it, and just have to accept the new reality that's unfolding in front of us.
Does the market also have to be aware that the positive effects of the Trump tax cuts after a while wear off?
I don't think there will be nearly as much positive effects as people think. And the reason that I say that is because I know tax accountants, and they work for some very wealthy individuals, and they describe how these people really aren't paying any taxes this year. But it's not like they're taking that money and investing in new businesses. What they're doing is they're just taking it and squirreling it away in the bank. Now, that's completely anecdotal, and I'm sure people will trot out all kinds of statistics to prove me wrong, but I do not think we will see the Trump tax cut effect beyond share buybacks. We're seeing plenty of that already, but that's kind of a one-time thing as well. By the way, one winner in all this, and your listeners may be interested to hear this, is Canada. Canada is outperforming the other markets. And one reason might be is that your government is not declaring trade wars on other countries, right? It's actually trying to work out some smart deals with other people. And so I think that's going to attract money going forward.
Do governments realize that when they impose tariffs, what you're actually doing is asking your citizens to pay more for products, and that's what could cost them jobs or make their job less effective because they don't have extra money to spend on their kids or vacations?
Well, they're well aware of it. They don't care. It's not the jobs of the people in government that are in danger, is it? I mean, they'll be perfectly fine. And as long as they have a compliant TV network or two to beat the drum of, like, whatever thing they're using to distract you from what's really going on, then it really doesn't matter.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after the break.
MGX Minerals is revolutionizing the new energy economy with patented lithium extraction technology, replacing traditional solar evaporation using low-cost, low-energy nanofiltration. The first system of this paradigm shift technology is currently being commissioned. MGX Minerals trades on the CSE, symbol XMG, the OTCQB, symbol MGXMF, and Frankfurt, symbol 1MG. For more information, visit our website, mgxminerals.com.
I'm Kelly Jennings, CEO of Powerband Solutions. Powerband is a cloud-based provider of auction, inventory, and finance solutions that make buying, selling, and financing vehicles more efficient. Powerband Solutions trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol PBX and on the OTCQB symbol PWWBF and on Frankfurt symbol 1ZV. For more information, please visit us at powerbandsolutions.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. Sean, in Canada, marijuana will be legal recreationally October 17th, but overseas, people aren't looking at it in a very positive light. What's happening there?
Well, I wouldn't say people, but certainly the whole securities agency over in Germany just delisted a whole bunch of North American marijuana stocks. I just grabbed the story off the Bloomberg today, and this has not hit the headlines. So, but maybe it will by the time these things. By the time this piece actually posts, but the changes take place as of September 28th, and there's a 4-page list which I will link to on my Twitter feed as long as we're doing that. You can pull that for your link as well. And it shows all the stocks that are going to be affected. Some very popular Canadian stocks, U.S. stocks as well, will not be tradable in Germany. Now, on the bright side, that's just Germany, but on the other hand, that's where a lot of investment money is. So they only cited legal reasons for why they're doing this. So I'm not sure what the problem is. Maybe it's pressure from the Trump administration. I'm not sure what it is. But, this is... I always pound the table about restraint of trade, how if they would just take the shackles off the cannabis industry in the United States, we would just power up this economy, or at least a portion of it, really quite a bit. But no, they're always putting obstacles in the way, and this is yet another one. Now, on the bright side, Canada is going fully legal in September, is it?
October 17th.
October 17th, and that's not that far away. You'll see things gear up ahead of that, and we've also heard that a beverage company that purchased 9% of Canopy Growth. That's working out so successfully. Now the other beverage companies are also interested. They're also looking at what Canadian companies they could actually invest in to just get that new leg to their business and stuff. So that should be good news for investors who already own those companies. It, of course, all depends on your entry price and stuff like that. But there is some good news there as well.
I've heard that in states where pot was legalized, a lot of the campaigns against legalization were led by tobacco and alcohol companies because they were worried about losing business. Should they?
Yeah, they should, which is why they need to switch into the pot business as soon as possible. The other ones who also led those campaigns would be the big pharmaceutical companies, right? Because they don't want something natural and easy to grow taking the place of their high-priced pills. For God's sake, they don't want that at all. And I'm sure that we'll still see pushback from that. And all that needs to happen is some young couple has to be driving with their kids in the back and stoned and have an accident. You can bet that's going to be turned into some kind of campaign talking about the horrors of legalized marijuana and stuff like that. Of course, you could make the same case for legalized alcohol or something like that, but you know that's coming. So it'll be a zigzaggy path. It will not be straight, but I would use those pullbacks to add new positions.
Did they see an increase in marijuana use in the states that legalized it, or did the same people who used it illegally use it legally and nobody else jumped on the bandwagon?
Well, there's actually mixed information on that, but one thing is for sure is that underage use of marijuana has gone down. And the reason is because there isn't so much of the illegal stuff around. It's harder for the kids to get it, right? And so that's at least one good thing that has actually come out of it.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after this.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. Work programs are underway in Finland and planned for Canada this summer. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol ADD, on Frankfurt symbol 82A1, and the OTCQB symbol ASDZF. Please visit our website arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. How is support for gold going right now?
Not well. In fact, I and my friends online were having pretty much growth sessions where all we talk about is how gold is not reacting to anything. It's not acting as a safe harbor at a time when people are scared about the global financial markets. That's very, very irritating. On the other hand, there is strong trendline support from the start of the 2015 rally. That's when things started moving higher. It was late in 2015, and if you draw that trend line, it hits 1250. There's also price support from earlier this year around 1238. I would look to those two levels for support. I have an article coming out Tuesday afternoon at theedelsoninstitute.com where I have a bunch of charts on gold explaining why this might be really bullish. And just to give you the short version of it, sentiment has turned so incredibly bearish among speculators, hedge funds, you name it. I mean, nobody wants gold anymore. That if gold bounces off the support and heads higher, it's going to be a lot of short covering, and it could really turn into a face-ripping rally. Now, that's all potential. We won't know until and unless it happens, but definitely we're coming up to a good spot to actually see that happen, and so we'll just have to see how that plays out. Oh, and I should mention, by the way, that gold miners are outperforming gold. That's usually a bullish sign. You tend to see that before a rally because the smart money gets into the gold miners that are leveraged to gold, right? So those tend to move first, and that's exactly what we're seeing happening now.
What's happening in the uranium space?
Well, we are having a pullback in the price of uranium. This is kind of weighing on some stocks, and including mine, like Energy Fuels, for example, which just joined the Russell 3000, and it should be going up, but it got hammered because of what happened Monday in the broad markets. I think that's an extraordinary buying opportunity in that stock, along with uranium. It has vanadium. But so we're seeing a general pullback in the uranium industry, but there aren't that many stocks anyway, maybe about 40, 45. So it's a small universe, and just the fundamentals keep improving for uranium all the freaking time. Just one thing after another after another. You know the price is going higher. It's just a matter of when. I think it's this year, and I think it's going to be quite a good move. So the two support levels, I hate to keep referring to my Twitter feed, but I posted a bunch of charts there Tuesday afternoon. So the two support levels for uranium, and I put this chart on my Twitter feed, are 22.40 and 21.99. So I would look for a bounce from either of those levels, and I'd look for uranium to head higher from there. Now, is that the start of the next big rally? Of course, we can't know until we see it in the rearview mirror. But it's a good place for it to start, and so I would definitely want to be into position before that takes off, and it's very close. We are close to that first level, 22.40, right now. So we are getting there, and I think the next liftoff could be imminent.
Crude oil, is it going to recover over the summer, or will OPEC's extra 1 million barrels a day make a big difference?
Recover over the summer? Have you seen what's happening with oil? It's past 70. It's trucking higher because of what's going on in Canada, right? You have all that oil sand stuff that gets shut in. So, I mean, what OPEC gives with one hand, Canada takes away with the other, and the price of oil goes higher. This is doing great stuff for my stocks. I'm happy to see this happen. I actually think, now, they announced a 1 million barrel per day hike in production. That's between OPEC and the non-OPEC nations led by Russia, and the non-OPEC nations, in case you don't know, include like Mexico, Kazakhstan, other companies like that. So some serious contenders. And they announced 1 million barrels per day. However, that's apportioned out to different countries, and many of the countries that they apportion to cannot raise production. Venezuela, for example, if anything, their production is going to go down, not up. And so it actually translates to around a 600,000 barrel per day rise, which is a number that was kicked around earlier, and that's far from the 1.5 million barrels per day that Russia had been pushing for. So this is actually, now, if the potential trade wars do not drag on the global economy too much, and if the economy keeps growing along at the pace it is right now, 600,000 barrels per day is going to be sucked up by global growth just almost immediately. And at the same time, the global storage of oil is actually down. It's well below the 5-year average. So there are stockpiles that need to be built up. So you put these things together, I actually think it looks like a good summer for oil. I'd be happy to be in oil stocks. I would use pullbacks as a chance to get long, and they should be going places. At least the good ones will.
Sean, can you remind people again what your Twitter feed is?
Sure, it's at Sean Brodrick. Brodrick has no E in it. It's just B-R-O-D-R-I-C-K. So S-E-A-N-B-R-O-D-R-I-C-K. Oh, and let me give a notice about some conventions I'll be attending. First of all, you do know that I like board games, right?
Well, we do now.
Oh, all right. Well, I thought you and I had a long conversation about this.
Well, we
board
did.
Board games are great. They're great because they teach you strategy and tactics and stuff like that. Really good stuff for traders. Anyway, I'm attending the world's best board game convention in the world. That's for my money. Of course, you can talk about Essen and other ones like that. But the best one for me is in Orlando, Florida next week. And that's the Dice Tower Convention. And it's a great place. It's the only one I've ever been to where you can roll out of bed Sunday morning, go down to the gaming tables, spend the morning gaming with actual board game designers, because that's where they tend to collect, and have other games led by very famous designers and stuff like that. My wife actually won a world competition at one of these things one time, So it's just a great deal of fun doing that. Now, that's for fun, and it's too late to get tickets, but keep it in mind for next year, folks, because it's a small conference. It's a great one. If you like board games, think of the Dice Tower Board Game Convention in Orlando, which starts next week. And the other one that I'll be going to is the San Francisco Money Show in late August. I think I speak August 25th, and I'll be talking about energy metals, including uranium and stuff like that. And so that will be a lot of fun, too. So if you're in San Francisco in late August, look for the Money Show. Join me there. It'll be a great time.
Sean, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you so much. I always have a great time talking to you.
My guest has been Sean Brodrick, Senior Editor at WeissRatings.com. You're listening to HoweStreet.com radio. Find us on Twitter at HoweStreet. Our popular YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Questions for the show or our guests, like Sean, can be sent to info@HoweStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HoweStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HoweStreet.com radio is a production of HoweStreet Media Incorporated.